Hello everyone, Thempire Ian here with more new cards. We're back to Yu-Gi-Oh organization for this stuff. I was using Yu-Gi-Oh Pro for a bit, but I got tired of the mistranslations. I like the way Yu-Gi-Oh Pro is set up more. The new update to Yu-Gi-Oh organization has made it kind of hard to use the website in some ways, but they just get it more accurate, generally speaking, even if sometimes they take a little bit of liberty with it. So we're gonna go with this. And they're also faster too, so I can get these done a little without having to stay up past 3 a.m. That's my bedtime, folks. So first up, we got imports. We got the Blazing Bombardment Beast. This guy is so funny. Just like another random machine pyro fusion monster. Don't know why. Moon of the Closed Heaven. We're getting the little girl, and she's gonna destroy the format. I can't believe we're getting this at the same time as Fiendsmith. Oh well. Spell card Monster Reborn and spell card Soul Exchange. These cards are dog shit. We already went over them. Hopefully saying that so soon doesn't get this video super like brrr. Anyways, speaking of Fiendsmith support, new Fiend support. Dip Sea Fiend. Are you sure it's not Deep Sea? Dip Sea. You could discard one card. Why it's the TCG exclusive, of course it's Dipsy, but like why is it Dipsy? It's a water fiend, which is cool. I do like when we combine archetypes and type attributes, or like typings and attributes that have not been combined very much before. You can discard a card to declare an attribute except water, special summon this card from your hand to either field, then this card becomes that attribute until the end of the turn. If you special summon this card to your opponent's field, you can special summon a level 4 or lower fiend monster with a different original attribute other than the declared one from your hand or grave to your field. Also, for the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon with extra deck except for fiend monsters. Oh my god, a fiend block? Whoa, a fiend block? God, why didn't they put these on Fiendsmith? Okay, so this one seems fine. Sure. Yeah, I mean, there's like potential stuff you could maybe do with this. I like this one just because of the potential for this to do some interesting plays, but yeah, not much to say about that one. Necro-Equip Princess, however, we might see have a little bit more going on here. Materials are a monster equipped with a monster card and a fiend monster card. Must be special summoned from the extra deck by sending the above cards from your hand or field to the graveyard. We have got to stop making fusion monsters that are link monsters. This is better than a link monster because it uses material from hand. You shouldn't be contact fusing from the hand. What is going on? Like, stop this. We have to stop. We have to stop. And you know what happens to equip cards with monster cards? Fiendsmith. You can only control one Necro-Equip Princess. If a monster is sent from the hand to the graveyard to activate a card or effect, you can activate one of these effects. Also, is there no once per turn on this? I don't see a once per turn on that. We're just never going to learn from Phantom of Yubel. Equip one of these monsters to this card as an equip spell that gains 500 attack. Draw one card. It's also a level 6, by the way. Level 6 Fiend. And here's another level 6 Fiend. It's a Wind Fiend. Aerial Eater. Aerial Eater, huh? 2 Fiend monsters with the same attribute. If this is a fusion summon, you can send a Fiend monster from your deck to the graveyard. If this card to your graveyard, you can banish 2 level 6 or higher Fiend monsters with the same attribute as each other from the grave, except for Aerial Eater. Special summon this card. You can only use this card once. Just a foolish burial for Fiends that you can summon off of any 2 Fiends with the same attribute. At least this one requires you to use a fusion spell, right? That's the saving grace here. This one requires you to use a fusion spell. I guess technically it doesn't, because you could just use a fucking Fiendsmith card, can't you? Or do those ones only summon Fiendsmiths? I don't even remember anymore. I'm so tired of this format, dog. Alright, free agents. World premiere free agents. We've got a new Ojama card. It's not really an Ojama card, but one of the cards that features the Ojamas and the Moki Mokis. The League of Uniform Nomenclature Strikes. That's so fun. I love the uniform nomenclature cards. Target one face-up monster you control. Equip 2 monsters with the same original name as that target from your hand, deck, or grave to that card as equip spells. And if you do, it cannot attack or be destroyed by battle while equipped with those 2 cards. You cannot special summon for the rest of the turn after this card resolves, so you can't make that other guy. Except for monsters the same original type as the targeted monsters. Never mind. You can only activate 1 League of Uniform Nomenclature Strikes per turn. It's a bad card, but it's funny. Kochabo's Hinamatsuri. Kochabo's Hinamatsuri. Hinamatsuri is a girls' day, a Shinto holiday. Involves dolls like the one. Okay, cool. I love girls. Level 7 Dark Machine. I guess it's like a doll. That's the idea. This card's in your hand or graveyard. You can target a machine monster on the field. For the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon the extra sticks for Ixie's monsters. Also special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. And if you do, have that monster's attack. Also, this monster level becomes that monster's. So it's Gimmick Puppet support then. It's Gimmick Puppet support. Awesome. That's just what they needed. But at least this could be used more generally with other machines. What? This guy's awesome. What the fuck? Zapper Shrimp. Look at this guy. Oh my god, look at him. I love him. I love you, Zapper Shrimp. A level 2 light fish synchro tuner. Materials 1 tuner, 1 non-tuner. Okay, perfect, generic. If this card is special summoned, you can send 1 other card from your hand to the or field to the grave, then target 1 spell trap your opponent controls, destroy it. Okay. You can only use this effect as Zapper Shrimp once per turn. Okay. Once per chain during your opponent's main phase, you can quick effect immediately after this effect resolves, secret summon using this card you control. Okay. That's fine, I guess. It could be a decent card in something, maybe. I don't know. It's like an alternative to why am I blanking on the name? Formula Synchron, where instead of drawing a card, you discard a card to pop a monster, or a spell trap. I mean, which is like not the worst. It's like Nightmare Phoenix for decks that could make Formula Synchron, I guess. It seems all right. I wish it was better, but it's still all right. Oh, I love the design, though. I have to have this card. I have to have it. All right, new trap card support. Magicaloidal Soul. Magicaloidal Soul. A level 2 water aqua tuner effect monster. If a monster is special summoned by your trap effect, except during the damage step, special summon this card from your hand or graveyard, but if you special summon from the graveyard, banish it when it leaves the field. During your opponent's battle phase, quick effect, you activate one of these effects. Immediately after it resolves, synchro summon using this card you control, or Ixie summon using this card you control. That's interesting. So you can just like basically you can get this off of you could either get this off of its own effect in like Labyrinth and use it to quick synchro into a level 10 monster, or you can use this in Sprite. You could just summon this off of Sprite effects and quick Ixies. Cool. Okay, here's some more. Volmina, Statue of the Sacred Dragon. It's a level 2 light dragon pendulum, and it's a 1 scale. Pendulum effect is, if a monster is special summoned by your trap effect, except during the damage step, target 1 card in the field, return it to the hand, then you can special summon this card. You'll use this effect once per turn. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, this is a monster effect, you could place this monster in your pendulum zone, and if you do, return the opponent's monster to the hand. You can only use this effect of the Volmina once per turn. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. Wow. This seems like a really cool card, actually. This seems like a really neat card. I could actually see you playing this, potentially, in like Labyrinth or Trap Tricks potentially. Obviously it doesn't really match up the typing very well, but it's a really good card. It targeted bounce back to hand, and then special summons the guy, so you just have like a guy on field. And then it also has a bounce that's non-targeting from hand, where you place it in the pendulum zone. And that's when they declare an attack, so it's not perfect, but... And then when it's destroyed, it goes back in the pendulum zone, so we can do this again? I don't know. There might be some way you can use this. I don't know. The fact it's non-searchable, I think, is going to be the biggest thing holding it back, though. Alright, Kue Biko. Continuous Trap. Special summon this card as an effect monster. Fairy, Earth, level 2, with the following effects. Once per chain, when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field that targets a card you control, a quick effect, you can set this card to your spell trap zone, and if you do, negate the opponent's effect, and if that monster has the highest attack on your opponent's field, return it to the hand. Whoa. Okay. Huh. That seems pretty powerful, actually. Oh wait, target. Sorry, I was thinking just any effect, monster effect. No, it's a target to a card you control. Never mind. This is not very good. Never mind. This ain't particularly good, but it's still interesting. I think this could be something interesting for the. Obviously, it's pattern. It has the same pattern as the Statue of Anguish pattern, or like a similar pattern, I should say. So I think it's an interesting add for the Continuous Trap deck, which I think is why it's in here, because Silhouette is also in here. It's also in this set. So, all right. Here's the really cool one, the Mimighouls. So the Mimighouls are a new TCG exclusive archetype, and look at this guy. Look at them. They're so cute. I love them. All right, first up, we have Mimighoul Master. Earth level 4 zombie. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect while your opponent controls any face-down monsters, or you control a Mimighoul monster other than Mimighoul Master. You can only use each of the following effects of Mimighoul Master once per turn. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Mimighoul monster from your deck to your hand, except for Master. During your opponent's main phase, you can change, as a quick effect, you can change one face-down monster on the field to face-up attack or defense position. So, this entire deck is based around putting monsters face-down on the opponent's side of the field, which means this is a really good effect. I also like that it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects while your opponent controls the face-down monster. Or if you control a Mimighoul monster other than Mimighoul Master. That's neat. Pretty neat. Alright, next up, Mimighoul Dragon. I love them. Look at these. They're so cool. Alright, Mimighoul Dragon is the Earth level 1 Dragon Flip effect. That's right, baby. They're flip monsters. Flip. If it is the main phase, apply these effects in sequence. Destroy all face-up monsters you control, except for Mimighoul monsters. Give control of this card to your opponent. During your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field in face-down defense position. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Mimighoul spell trap from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. So, this is our searcher, and it also, obviously puts itself on the opponent's field to be a destruction effect. Real good disruption. And then it comes back to you, and you can use it as material for something. Mimighoul Cerberus. This is also a flip effect, a level 1 Earth Beast. Was the other one Earth too? Are they all Earth? Yeah, they're all Earth. If it is the main phase, apply these effects in sequence as its flip effect. Banish the top 3 cards of your deck to special summon one of your banished monsters to your opponent's field in defense position. And then give control of this card to your opponent. Really cool. So you get the runic banishing off the top, which is, people are going to complain about that for sure. But at least they're not banished face down, right? Then during your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field in face down defense position, of course, has that. You can only use each of the effective Mimighoul Cerberus once per turn. Your opponent cannot target face-up spells you control with card effects. So this protects your face-up spells, which we will get to in a second. But yeah, this is a really neat one. Kind of provides the win condition theoretically, but I think there's some more interesting win conditions later on in the... I'll explain later, is what I mean to say. Alright, and then we have Mimighoul Archfiend, which is part of the Archfiend archetype as well, as all of these are. I love how we shove Archfiends into all sorts of different archetypes. It's really cool, actually. This is an Earth level 1 Fiend with 0 attack and 1900 defense. This is the big booty one. If it is the main phase, apply these effects in sequence. Your opponent draws a card. Send one card from your hand to the grave. Give control of this card to your opponent. So, this one activates, you get the draw, your opponent has to send a card from hand to grave. And then you get control of it, and you can use it. So this is the one you probably want to activate on the main, on turn 1. During your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field and face down defense position, of course. If this card is normal special summon, you can change one face down monster on the field to attack, face up attack, or defense position. So, this one on normal or special also gets to do the flip. You can only use each effect once per turn. So, that's the monsters. They're all pretty cool, but they're going to need some pretty powerful spell traps. Well, first up we have Mimighoul Dungeon, a field spell. Mimighoul monsters you control that were not normal or special summoned this turn gain attack equal to their original defense. That makes all these guys actually pretty beefy. This is 1900. This one becomes a 2200. This one becomes a 2500. And I don't, does this one count? Because that one goes to 3000. I don't know that one. Does that one count? Yeah, it does. It just has to wait a turn for it. Any player who controls a face down monster cannot normal summon monsters, nor declare an attack with monsters that were special summoned this turn. So, this is a floodgate that prevents your opponent from normal summoning and prevents special summon monsters from attacking the turn that they're summoned. So this floodgate prevents a lot of special summoning from happening, especially because they already control a face down monster, which prevents most of these special summons that would have happened anyways. So like Kashtira can't summon, Cyber Dragon can't be summoned. You know, all those kind of effects that require the field to be empty can't go off. Basically, it's just Pankratops. I get thinking off the top of my head of like cards that can summon themselves to the field without there being needing to be specific monsters on the field, or no monsters on the field, and it's basically just Pankratops. So that's pretty good already. But then also, during your main phase, you can add a Mimighoul monster from deck to hand. That's not the on-activation effect, so you get to do that every turn. You can only use this effect once per turn. So, this Floodgate is incredibly powerful. It literally stops normal summons unless your opponent can flip summon a monster. Now, let me introduce you to a card called Ghost Trick Knight. Ghost Trick Knight says if you control a Ghost Trick monster, your opponent cannot flip summon. And you know what is a really easy Ghost Trick monster to make in this deck that's full of level 1 monsters? Ghost Trick Dullahan. You make Ghost Trick Dullahan, and then you can make Ghost Trick Angel of Mischief. Angel of Mischief can search Ghost Trick Knight. Bam. That's the whole deck. You've got it. And, you know, of course, since you could make Ghost Trick Angel of Mischief, you could also go the UDF route. You could search for Ghost Trick Shot. Ghost Trick Shot, summon back the Dullahan. Dullahan into another Angel of Mischief. Angel of Mischief, search the Ghost Trick Knight. And then overlay all that for Utopic Draco Future. And then save the Knight, because the Knight is not going to be able to work if you don't have a Ghost Trick on field. So you need to find a way to get the Ghost Trick back on field before you can actually do that. But it gives you a negate, which is pretty nice. So those are the things I'm thinking about with Mimighoul. Let's look at the next card and see if this helps. So Mimighoul Maker. Is this like a... This is a machine that makes the other Mimighouls? Alright. Reveal 2 flip monsters with different names from your deck. Your opponent randomly picks one for you to special summon to their field and face down position, and you add the other to your hand. That's incredible. Like, that's incredible. This card is insane. And then you add the other to your hand, and then you special summon a Mimighoul monster from your hand. Wow! This is incredible. You summon to their field, and then you summon one from your hand onto the field. And if you have this one in hand, that means you get to flip up the monster. And if you have this one in hand, it means you get to search. So either way, they're in for a rough time. If you get Cerberus on field, then they can't target your face-up field spells with card effects. I don't think that's going to be an issue, though, if you get those 2 floodgates up. So I wouldn't worry about that. Alright, and then if your opponent special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you can banish this card to your graveyard, then target one face-down monster your opponent controls, change it to face-up attack or defense position. You can only use Mimighoul Maker effect each per turn, once per turn, and only once that turn. So what this allows you to do is allows you to clear your opponent's field. Because if you have Mimighoul Dragon on their field, you can flip it up with that, and so if they manage to somehow special summon a monster, you can just clear it, so that they aren't able to do that anymore. And then we have Mimighoul Room. Sorry, I wanted to rhyme. Mimighoul Room. Special summon is a normal trap. Special summon a Mimighoul monster from your hand or deck to your field, or in face-down defense position to your opponent's field. And then you can change one face-up monster on the field to face-down defense position. Okay, that's pretty neat, actually. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target any number of Mimighoul monsters you control, return them to the hand. You can only use one effect per turn, only once that turn. The second effect doesn't seem particularly useful. Like, it seems useful in the fact that, like, if you're playing the deck as it seems like they want you to play it, where you're just getting a whole bunch of Mimighoul monsters and you're attacking in, and you want to pull them back to your hand so you can put them in your opponent's field again. But in my estimation of the deck, you're using the Mimighoul monsters as material to do other things. So you really want the Mimighoul monsters to come back from your grave to your hands, not the field. But, you know, whatever. The first effect, though, might be worth playing, honestly. Just the free special summon, and then you get to change a face-up monster to face-down defense position. That's another way to shore up your defenses and make sure that Ghost Trick Knight never gets outed. And so that all of their monsters are face down, they can't normal summon, and they cannot flip summon. Like that's a perfect locked. It's a perfect locked. So that's my idea for this deck. That's what I'm going to be trying to brew. I'm going to be trying to perfect that brew in the next coming little bit of time. So prepare to get locked. Literally the only way to out it will be like Feather Duster. You have to start packing Feather Duster, and you better draw it. I guess you could like do Cosmic Cyclone. Cosmic Cyclone would do it. But you better draw it. And meanwhile, the Mimighouls, they get fucking huge. The thing about it is, though, I don't know how you win the game. Like, you lock down the game for sure. I guess you do this turn one. Going second, you're not gonna be able to do a whole lot, I don't think. But going turn one, you lock down the game, and you like try and make it so they don't get any other monsters on the field. Then you get your guys on. You get your guys on the field, and then you flip up the guys that you gave them to lock them, and then they come to you, and then you attack like an open board, basically. That's like something. Yeah, I think these are very interesting. I'm excited to see them. I do think that playing against them is going to be really frustrating, but whatever. That's fine. I enjoy them. I'll just enjoy them by myself. Alright, that's it for me for the new Infinite Forbidden stuff. Let me know what you think about these in the comments below. I think this is basically everything that's going to be revealed. There might be a couple of stragglers here and there, but we'll get to those when they come to them. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Hey there! Thanks for watching another video. Why don't you give it a like, share it around, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for notifications. You know, the YouTube stuff. You can also follow me on Twitch and Twitter for more content. I got content plenty for ya. You can also support the channel by giving me money. You have a Patreon. If you join the Patreon, you can show up in the credits over here. I would really appreciate that. You could also use my TCG player affiliate link to get any single, sealed product, or accessories that you want, all to start supporting the channel at the same time. That's all for this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful rest of whatever time it is for you. Bye now!